I'm almost beside myself because sitting right next to us in the studio is Boy George!
Hello.
Oh.
I got asked some very racy questions before we went on.
I know. Look, I've got to admit, I did ask Boy George when he came in whether he'd ever gone out with Marilyn. Remember Marilyn from years ago too? Because I heard a rumour that you had gone out with Marilyn.
No. And I said I'm not a lesbian.
Yeah. Well, that's right. We've worked that out now. What was the other thing that you can't go out with someone?
Well, I said that, you know, when we were like teenagers, he did lend me a pair of stilettos or gave me a pair that were broken. And once the guy's done that, you really can't have a relationship with him.
So you can't date anyone you've borrowed shoes from?
Especially if they're girls' shoes.
The girls' shoes, right, okay.
Just on dodgy ground there, you know.
Now, what have you been doing for 18 years?
Well, I mean, that kind of little piece of blurb is a little bit of a slight exaggeration. Obviously, I've done a lot of things. I've been DJing for the past 25 years, and I have been completely immersed in dance culture, so which has been great because it's helped me to avoid nostalgia.
Yeah,
which I know you're in a nostalgia station, but you know, in a way, I've come back to making records again with a slightly refreshed kind of attitude because I haven't had to be in sort of nostalgia purgatory. You know, I've been involved in dance music, so
But nostalgia is our bread and butter.
Yes, mine too. You know, every time I have a renaissance,
like to think of it as heaven.
You know, we do love a renaissance. You know, there's always the latest revivals and things like that. But I try to avoid that stuff. You know.
But when you perform live, though, there must be a lot of demand for the classic
we always
hits.
do the you know, not everything, but we always do. When you do a live show, you know, you've got to. Obviously, when I go and see someone I love, I want to hear things I know as well.
Absolutely.
So it's always a fine balance,
well,
you know.
I've got to tell you, Boy George, that you are responsible for me giving up smoking.
Oh, good. I'm responsible for me too.
When I was very young, my father said to me, because I was madly in love with Culture Club, and he said, if you give up smoking, I will buy you the brand new VHS of Come and Camille of
Colour by Numbers.
Colour by Numbers.
Wow.
So, and I gave up smoking to get that.
Wow, and you stayed given up?
Well, for a year or so.
It's better than nothing. It worked for a little while.
I gave up 3 years ago. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah, you look great. You've got makeup, the full makeup on at this time of day.
Well, this isn't the full makeup. This is the... This is like 5 o'clock in the morning. Kind of,
well, I'd hate to see you at 8 o'clock at night, geez.
Exactly, it gets heavier. Christine likes to kind of put more on as the day goes by.
So you've afforded yourself the indulgence of a full-time makeup artist?
Yes, I went to Thailand about 3 years ago, and I arrived there. It was really late and it was hot, and I was in a rush, and I had to do my own makeup. And when I saw myself in the mirror, I looked like someone had beaten me up.
No, that's not.
So I thought, you know what, this can't go on. You know, so I employed the lovely Christine, and we're mates anyway. We were mates before.
Yep.
We worked together, so, you know, and we really are like a married couple. There's a great thing on YouTube, the Boy George and Christine show. I torture her.
Well, you look amazing. Like maybe I'm sure you got makeup, but you look like you've come through any problems you might have had in the past. You look as well as and young as a man could.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of lifestyle changes, obviously, over the last 6 years. You know, I've been sober 6 years, just past my 6th sober birthday on March 2nd.
You don't drink at all?
Don't drink, don't take drugs, don't do anything.
I've been off the booze for 2 weeks. I'm trying to lose some weight, and I'm so bored.
Really?
Yes, maybe that's more of a reflection on me.
You know, somebody, actually, I was talking to someone recently, and I said I didn't drink, and they said, boring, and I was like, no, you should see me drunk, then you'd know about it.
So you just find a different high, don't you?
I'm just not, you know what, the thing I've learned about myself is that, you know, the thing I've done badly is drugs and alcohol. They're the things that I just failed at miserably. You know, not everyone can be Keith Richards, you know.
I know.
I just don't suit it, and I'm much better sober.
Yeah, so were you the type of person who you would have one drink or you'd have one indulgence, which would every time turn into 1,000?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'm not someone who can do anything in moderation, whether it's hats or...
We've noticed that with the hat you've got on today.
You know, anything you can think of. I mean, that's the thing, having a kind of addict nature, is that you don't know moderation. So I've learned as I've got older that abstinence is the key for me.
Yeah.
You know, it works.
Do you still see the Culture Club fellows?
We are actually about to make a record together.
Oh! You heard it here first on Gold.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, we are going to record in May in Spain, and we've been writing on and off for the last kind of few months, and actually it was a really enjoyable experience. And you know, it's a quite nice thing to kind of, you know, because there's been lots of bad blood drama and all of that. So it's quite nice to actually go and write and actually just walk away and say, actually, wasn't that great? You know, didn't we get on?
Are you game to put a timeline on that?
Well, you know what, I just want to, because, the Culture Club kind of ended badly, and I always felt like we had a kind of score to settle with each other, kind of, artistically. It felt like, we needed to kind of really, really do another record. And we'll see what happens,
Well, until that day, you've got to go and buy yourself This Is What I Do. You just heard the magnificent new single, King of Everything. Boy George, you smell beautiful, you look great. It's a joy to have you in here. Thank you for joining us today.
God bless you.
And take a look at boygeorgeuk.com as well for more details at 8:46.